Good day, everyone. My name is Mariel Ann, and for this creative art task, I am drawing a scene that captures the soul of Filipino courtship. I'm starting with the Bahay Kubo and a man standing below the window. This represents patience. In our culture, courtship is not a race, it is a slow, deliberate process of winning the heart of the woman and the trust of her family. As I sketch these initial lines, I'm mindful of the legal tradition where time is the greatest offering a man can give. Now, I'm drawing the figures of the parents inside the house, looking through the window. This is a vital element because Filipino marriage is a foundation of two families, not just two individuals. This reflects family orientation. In the Philippines, the suitor must show respect or pagalang to the elders. I'm sketching the man in a slightly bowed position, holding a guitar for a harana. This posture shows he acknowledges the authority and the wisdom of the woman's parents. He isn't just courting the daughter, he is honoring the home. I am now adding details around the yard, like a stack of firewood in a water container. This represent the traditional paninilbihan or acts of service. Even in a simple pencil drawing, these symbols speak volumes about commitment. It shows that love in our culture is proven through labor and sincerity. A man doesn't just say he loves a woman. He shows it by being helpful to her household. And I'm using crocks hatching here to give texture to the wood. Symbolizing the grit and hard work required to build a lasting relationship. As I finish the drawing with shading, I'm focusing on the light coming from the house. So this light represents the ilaw ng tahanan or the mother, and the strength of the structure represents the father. The depth I'm adding with my pencil represents fidelity, like graphite on paper. True Filipino courtship is meant to be permanent and indelible. I'm darkening these outlines of the couple to show that through the panunuyo or wooing, a bond is being formed that is intended to last a lifetime. So now that my piece is complete, I want to explain the deeper meaning behind the sacred approach. The centerpiece is the harana or serenade. In Filipino culture, music is the language of the heart, but the act of singing under a window is an act of bravery. It requires the suitor to be vulnerable in front of the woman's entire world. This artwork illustrates that our marriage values are rooted in integrity. And with that, you can see the distance between the man and the window. That space is filled with patience and the tamang panahon, or what we call the right time. So moving from courtship to marriage, the house in my drawing symbolizes the tahanan, a place of refuge. So the values of loyalty and fidelity are what we keep this house standing. In the Filipino context, marriage is sacred covenant. We see this in a way the characters are positioned. They are part of a larger ecosystem involving family and community. My drawing emphasizes that a successful Filipino marriage is one where the husband and wife remain matapat or faithful not just to each other but to the values their parents passed down to them. Through this creative process, I realized that these old fashioned values are actually very modern in their strength. Respect, family orientation, and commitment are the threads that keep our society together. While the tools of courtship have changed from guitars to cell phones, the core, the heart of the Filipino remains rooted in honor and sincerity. But we must ask ourselves, why do these values persist? It is because the Filipino concept of love is built on the idea of pagtitimpi or self-restraint. In an area of instant gratification, the old school way of waiting, the paghihintay, serves as a filler. It separates those who are merely interested from those who are truly invested. When I drew the distance between the suitor and the window, I was drawing the space of respect. This space is where trust is grown. It reminds us that the woman's dignity is worth the effort of a long and honest pursuit. Furthermore, Furthermore, we look at the value of paninilbihan or service. In modern times, this might not mean chopping wood or fetching water from a well or wheel, but it translates into how we support one another's ambitions and how we care for our aging parents. This family orientation is our unique social safety net. In the Philippines, a marriage is the birth of a new team that serves the community and honors the ancestors. My artwork reflects this by showing the home as a place that is open to the family and not isolated from it. We also must reflect on the value of katapatan or fidelity. In my drawing, I use deep, dark pencil strokes for the foundation of the house. This represents the unshakable nature of a vow. In our culture, marriage is often seen as a sacred covenant, a promise made not just to a partner, but to God and the community. It is the matigas del nalaro, the thought game of staying together through trials, through poverty, and through the changing seasons of life. Ultimately, these values define our resilience as a people. When we value the family over the self, we become stronger. When we value patience over impulse, we become wiser. My creative expression today is more than just a drawing. It is a reminder to myself and to whoever watches this that our traditions are not chains that holds us back, but roots that keep us steady. As I look at this piece, I see the faces of our grandparents and the hope of our future children. I see a culture that believes love is worth working for, worth waiting for, and most importantly, worth keeping sacred. May we never lose our sense of Harana in our hearts, even in a digital world. Thank you for listening to my reflection, and I hope this artwork resonates with the values you hold dear in your own homes. So this is my final work, and thank you for listening.